The poet Mary Oliver wrote the short and famous poem, Instructions for Living a Life. Pay attention. Be astonished. Tell about it. Here in our stewardship season, as our stewardship committee invites all of us to discern God's answer to the question, God, where do you want me to be in my giving? We've been paying attention, and we've been astonished by the good news of God's work through the ministries of Davidson College Presbyterian Church, and we want to tell you about it, tell you about what we've heard and seen. And someone who can tell you a little bit more about one of those stories is Pat Shaw, director of La Escuelita, a bilingual preschool that meets in the Ada Jenkins Center on the west side of Davidson, serving some of our lower income neighbors. Hear now from Pat as she tells some of God's good news.
Good morning. I am Pat Shaw. I'm the director of La Escuelita San Alban bilingual preschool right here in Davidson. I am here to talk about my relationship with DCPC. It's an ongoing, long one, and a joyful one. DCPC has supported our little school since its inception. Our first summer, we wanted to offer summer school to our children, lest they lose everything they had gained during the school year, including language, so important. So I went to DCPC, and they graciously offered us a preschool room with an entrance to a playground. It was wonderful. It was an amazing 6 weeks, and we did it again, and it was even better. So for 6 years, we have benefited from DCPC's workdays in our school and in our wonderful garden. We've benefited from many DCPC volunteers in our classrooms, and of course, various donations and many wonderful funding opportunities without which we could not survive. This year, with the pandemic, school was delayed, and we were very concerned how we might start. We thought we would do some homeschool pods, and we were able to do that in various clubhouse locations, but I didn't have a location for Davidson. Once again, I call DCPC. I spoke with Robert Alexander. I had all these explanations, all these reasons why we really needed it, and would they pull through? Well, of course, DCPC said yes. And the next day we moved into their congregation hall. This is DCPC, where you don't have to explain, you don't have to wonder. They just say yes. And that's been my experience. And I am so happy to have this relationship. I think the underlying unity of DCPC is reflected in good works. I think the pastors of DCPC equip your disciples for stewardship. Your gift of grace gives rise to resources for the betterment of Escuelita and probably the betterment of creation. DCPC is a good steward, and Escuelita benefits from them. Thank you.
This is just one of the stories that we want you to remember as we walk along the giving path, the pathway to generosity, which is also the path of discipleship here in our stewardship season. And as we all walk along that way, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and as always, thank you for your giving to support the ministries of God through Davidson College Presbyterian Church. I think along with our stewardship committee, you will continue to be astonished.